Great question that was submitted to the Instagram Q&A this week. How do you know whether the dream is referring to something in your past, present, or future? Great question. Here's a few things to consider, okay? And I really go into this in a lot more depth in my Language of Dreams course, but I'm going to give you kind of just 3 things to consider when you're looking at the overall dream. Every dream is going to be different, okay? And this is not a hard line. This is not set in stone that you can apply to every single dream. You really have to look at the overall context of what the dream is communicating. But here's 3 things that I would say that you could consider. First of all, look at the setting of the dream. Where is the dream set? Very similar to like when the opening scene of a movie sometimes, right? You get the little tiny print that says, okay, this movie was set in Russia, or this is Germany, or this is Mexico, or whatever. It brings you into the environment so that you can know what environment and what context the movie is speaking to. It's the same with our dreams. Pay attention to those opening scenes of the dreams, because that will most likely give you an understanding of what context the dream is speaking to. So is it a familiar place? Is the dream set in maybe like a house that you grew up in, or a church that you used to go to when you were a kid, or maybe like a family member's house, that you remember from your childhood, or a school that you used to go to when you were a kid? Pay attention to those kind of things, because most likely if it's set in one of those past kind of places, then the dream is most likely speaking to something relating to your past. Secondly, I would say pay attention to where the dream is drawing your attention, right? Like if the dream was doing this to you and getting you to kind of look in this direction, where is the dream getting you to look, okay? For example, if you find yourself looking out the windows of a building, are you looking out the front windows of this building, or are you looking out the back windows, or maybe even the side windows of the building? That could tell you a lot. If you're looking out the front, that means that the dream is causing you to look to something that is yet ahead, something that is out in your future. If you're looking at something out the back windows, then it's most likely speaking to something that's in your past. Whereas if you're looking out the side windows of a house, it could mean that it's something relating to the here and now. This also pertains to like cars, or when you're moving along, if you're walking down a path, right? And you see something up ahead in your path, then that most likely means that the dream is speaking to something that is about to come in your path in the future, on your way as you are going. If you're not really moving and you're just kind of paying attention to what is going on around you, then that is most likely speaking to something in the here and now. And then again, if you're looking behind you, that could either mean something is coming up behind you, like something is getting ready to overtake you and something is getting ready to come. Or it could also mean that you're looking back towards something that took place in the past that is now behind you. Vehicle, if you're looking out the front, windshield, and you're looking ahead, then that probably means that you're looking to something ahead of you. If you're looking in the rear view, then that probably means something behind you. So just pay attention to those 2 things, okay? First of all, the setting, where is it set? Secondly, where is the dream drawing your attention? Where is it causing you to gaze? Where is it causing you to look? And then thirdly, and this one's going to be a little bit more tricky, okay? But we know that dreams can be very prophetic in nature. We know that they can be speaking to things that are not yet. So when you look at the dream, what is the dream communicating to you? Is it clear for you to see, this is definitely something that has not happened yet. I have never seen myself doing this. I've never been there before. I'm stepping into something in my dream that I could have never imagined myself doing. Those are probably speaking to something in your future that is not yet. And God often has to do that to us, to start planting the seeds in us so that we can envision something that He envisions for our future. But if something is going on in the dream that feels familiar, right? It has that sense of, I feel a deja vu. It feels like I've been here before. It feels like I've done this before. Then it's most likely speaking to something in our past that is either being drawn back up, or that our attention is being drawn to. So I hope that helps. Again, kind of difficult to go into all of that. I go into a lot more detail in this in my Language of Dreams course, but I would say of everything that I teach people to consider, those are probably the top 3 things to determine whether or not the dream is speaking to your past, your present, or your future? Thanks for submitting the question. That was a great one.